Definitely no. That's a no for me, dog. It's so ugly. No, nah, just get this out of here, gross. Hey y'all, Patrick here, and so we're back with more ugly basses. So we're gonna call this series Ugly Basses. I know, pretty creative, I gotta say. So after the first installment, there were a lot of people who weren't very happy with me, to say the least. I'm sorry, not sorry though, because it's just my opinion and you have your opinion too, and that's pretty cool. But let's go ahead and rustle some more feathers with episode 2, starting with the Gibson Power Hour. Yes, I'm throwing this one in Gibson's court because I've never seen a company start out, make some great and really just innovative basses along the way, like the RD and the Grabber and the Ripper, and just go ahead and scrap all those and then go ahead and make something like this. Wow. So this is the new Gibson EB, but then a few years ago they made the Gibson EB2, and I'm really confused about that and really how it went from this really cool looking thing to this really ugly looking thing. Oh God, why? And I just look at this and I say, who wants this? What's the market for this? Who looks at that and goes, that's a good looking bass. Nobody does that at all. Moving on, we have the old Gibson Victory that I guess it was made back in the 80s. And while it's really ugly, especially that weird thin, like Thunderbird-esque headstock, but it's not, but it's just super thin. It's not normal, but at least they tried something different, something innovative, even if it is ugly. And really one of Gibson's biggest faults, I think, is they basically take their guitars and they try to turn them into basses and just like, you know what, we did it boys, good job. And the SG bass, I think, looks good, and that's about it, because the Les Paul bass is hideous. It just doesn't look right. It just doesn't, there's something about it where it's just, you look at it and go, no, there's something wrong. And I don't know if it's just because my brain is so used to seeing regular Les Pauls like throughout my entire life, more than the bass version of it, but they just don't look right for some reason. They look like they got stretched and really elongated, but nothing matches, nothing looks good on it in my opinion. But ironically, my friend is selling his old Greco one, and it looks really good. I don't know why, and it's not even a Gibson, but it's the same shape, but I guess they, kept the actual dimensions of it more in line with the guitar version where it's not seeming stretched out. But this looks really good. That looks really bad. I don't know why. Another one that Gibson just said, hey, you know what? We have the guitar version of this. What if we make the bass version? Is the Explorer. Again, maybe it's because I'm so used to the guitar version that just when you see a bass version, it doesn't sit right. It doesn't look right. And also with the V as well. I mean, I don't really care for V shapes as it is, but these look more in line, like they look fine as a bass. I don't know. Has anyone really gone out and said, I need that V bass right now? The Gibson 2020. Yep, that's a thing. Apparently Gibson had teamed up with Ned Steinberger, who's, most famous for that shape, which I don't mind. Hey, I know. But I think that looks pretty cool. That to me has its place in history where it's just 80s weird chic. I don't know. It's weird, but it's cool. But then I guess they're like, hey Ned, come over to Gibson and help us out. And then Ned was like, all right, so we're gonna add this little thing out to the side of it that's similar to mine, but not really. And then we're gonna add the ugliest headstock ever, where it just looks like they got a piece of scrap wood and just taped it to the top of it. And there's like, it's a Gibson now. And just, I don't know, Gibson, especially nowadays, they don't care. There's no innovation at all to me, like in their new line of basses, except for the Les Paul Tribute Junior. That looks really good. I like that a lot. Nothing innovative, nothing like brand new or anything, but that one looks good, and apparently it plays good and it sounds really good too. So good job on that, Gibson, I guess. But my main thing is that they used to make the RD, they used to make the Grabber, they used to make the Ripper, and it's just, look at those are so badass. It's just, why don't they care about basses anymore? I don't know, it's weird. Gibson, you're messing up. Come on, get with it. Jesus. Sticking close to Gibson because Gibson owns this brand, we have the Tobias, which is basically that Gibson EB. It does nothing for me. My heart's not pounding any faster, my eyes didn't get any wider. It does nothing. It's so gross. But at least it looks like the headstock can double as a bottle opener. Maybe? The Kramer DMZ 4000. I don't know, like the wood looks really nice on it, and believe it or not, I really like the headstock. The idea of aluminum necks are super cool. while they're not the best looking things, I think it's just so unique and something that's so different where it catches your eye, but it doesn't make you turn away in disgust. It makes you just like, I wanna know more about that. So my friend Don messaged me after I released the first video and basically said, hey, I really like Specters, but this one is just hideous. And oh, he's correct. The Specter CK4. It's badass, I guess. Apparently this is the signature model of the basis for 5-finger death punch, so yeah, cool. It's complete with an oversized pair of brass knuckles under the bridge because rock and roll? I don't know, this is a weird shape. It reminds me of that really weird Ibanez guitar that came out a few years ago, but this one looks way worse to me, and just the fact that it has the brass knuckles on it, oh God. So on Instagram, well, speaking of Instagram, you should follow me there. Wink, wink, wink. Truax commented, I personally find Kiesel headstocks gross AF. And I'll kind of agree with you. I agree and disagree. So there's a few that look really good and a few that look, oh God, yeah, they don't look good. Starting with this first one, this is awesome. I mean, the body style is really weird, and I know I brought up Gumby earlier, and this is like pretty much the exact color of him. But man, this bass looks so rad. I love the shape of it, and the headstock matches with it too. I don't think it's perfect, but it matches with the body style. And also it's the color too. The color gets me, but I like this one. The second one, this is the one I think I realize I've noticed the most on Carvins and Kiesels, at least for their J bass and their P bass configurations. I like the little extra like swoop they do with the horn. Instead of it just being a direct jazz bass copy, they go ahead and change it up a little bit so it is distinguishable as something different. And while the headstock's not my favorite, I think it does match the body just like the first one too. So this one also gets a thumbs up. So when you look at the headstock of this one, it's sort of very similar to the first one, but different. It looks like it's inverted, but I'm just gonna go with this one as being its own entity by itself. And no, I don't like this one. I don't like, maybe it's because of the bass style too. I don't like the way this bass looks. The wood looks really cool. The style though, no, I'm out. Definitely no. That's a no for me, dog. No. And this next one, it looks like a weird shark. Like, it kind of looks similar to that comparison video that I made last week, and but not good looking. I don't know, it's hard to explain. And a lot of people have like bashed me on how I really like the way the comparison looked, but I didn't like the way Jackson's look, and apparently Jackson's look very similar. I see that now, but the Jackson's still uglier. But going back to the Kiesel, yeah, this one, no. And then this, oh, this is just like that very first one, but a different style, different color and everything. I don't know, I really like this body style. It looks really cool to me. But this last one, I can't even judge the headstock. There is no headstock, what am I supposed to do? But I guess I will say while we're here, I like headless guitars. They look cool for the most part, but it really puts that much more emphasis on the body looking good. I really think the Kiesel knocks it out of the park. Again, I like the Steinberger. I don't know why, like I wouldn't gig with it or anything, but it's just like one of those really just niche things where you're just like, oh yeah, cool. But for the most part, most headless basses look really awesome to say the least. The Fodera Imperial. No. I don't know, it reminds me of the, you know, like when the flossing things, but the individual ones. I don't know why, but it reminds me of one of those. And I'm not gonna pay a couple grand for a bass that reminds me of like, you know, dental products for some reason. Nah. The Triturator. The Fernandez Triturator. No, not digging it. Also, the fret inlays, oh man, why? Come on, that's weird. That's ugly. That's gross. And then I looked it up on the website, and it's basically saying that because they want this bass to be a representation of the tools of the trade that a bass is. Like, that's cool, but in like, no, it's dumb, and I don't like it, and I don't like the headstock of this, and I don't like the body of this. Nah, just get this out of here, gross. The Fernandez Nomad. I wanna say it's ugly, I wanna hate it, but for some reason it's so cool. I think it's just because it's obviously such a tiny bass, and it has a small little speaker in it, so it's like its own like amp too, so it's perfect for practice, and it's so tiny, so it's gotta be super fun to play, because short scales in general are just really fun to play. And really any smaller bass, I'm all about that. It's really ugly, it's hideous, but it's beautiful at the same time. I don't know. I'm torn. The Fernandez Revel, the headstock's the same as the Trick-Trick-Trick-Dater. Yep, that nailed that one. And the body style is just, I don't know, weird. No. Next. And the Fernandez Vulcan, like, this one looks too plain, too normal, and then all the other Fernandezes look too out there, too, like, edgy, I guess. I don't know, and I'm not really bashing Fernandez as a company. I've never played them before. I don't know what they sound like. I just know that, like, for the most part, they got pretty ugly basses. Ugh. The Washburn T24, it doesn't look awful. It's just that upper horn. It's doing the Gumby thing. I keep referencing that. I don't know why, but that's all it reminds me of. When it starts out something like this, and then it goes boom, like really big, it just reminds me of Gumby. And why would I want to think about this guy when I'm playing bass? I don't know. But it's funny because if they just reshaped that part, or I guess maybe even mirrored the lower horn, it would look good. But right now, no. And the wood looks really good too. The headstock looks okay. It's just that upper horn. Just cut it down, shave it down. I'm sure someone's done it too. Oh. I actually need to look that up. And last but definitely not least today, we have the Vox Mark V. Have you ever wanted a really weird shaped spoon, maybe even spork, as a bass? Well, look no further. Vox has got you covered. This can't be comfortable to play, even when you're standing with a strap. I don't know why, but I do applaud it though, because weird styles like this make the world go round, to be honest. It's something where they're trying it, they're innovating, they're doing something different, and I really appreciate that instead of just remaking something but in their own style. But it's just, it's so ugly. No, I would love to see someone like in Guar or in Slipknot play this bass though. That'd be badass. But thank y'all so much for watching again. If you agree with any of the ones that I said today, go ahead and comment down below. And if you disagree with any of the ones I said today, I already know that you commented below. But thank y'all so much for watching as always, and sharing the last video and everything. It was a lot of fun making that, and it was a lot of fun making this one too. I just love seeing and hearing all the different ones that you guys send me. So keep them coming. Let's make more of these and have more fun with it. But thank y'all so much for watching as always. If you like this video, want to see more, want to see the next one in the series whenever that comes out, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to be like these incredible people right over here, head over to my Patreon page for things like early access to videos, giveaways, and more. But thank y'all so much for watching as always, and I'll see y'all next time.